Good afternoon, class. In today's class, we will begin with a new chapter, the Mauryan Empire. A new era began in the history of India with the establishment of the powerful Mauryan Empire. There was a new era, or there was a new beginning in the history of India with the establishment of Mauryan Empire, which was done by Chandragupta Maurya. It was the first empire in ancient India, and Mauryan Empire was the first empire in ancient India. The Mauryas gave political unity to India. What did they give to India? They gave political unity to our country. Now, what were the sources? Two books, Indika by Megasthenes and Arthashastra by Kautilya, are the main source of information on the Mauryas. Regarding Mauryas, from where do we get to know? We get to know by two books, which are Indika, which was given by Megasthenes, and Arthashastra, which was given by Kautilya. These are the main sources of information on the Mauryas. Indika gives us an account of political and socio-economic conditions of the period, and Arthashastra shows light on the Mauryan administration. Indika tells us about the political and socio-economic conditions, and Arthashastra throws some light on the Mauryan administration, or it tells us about some of the Mauryan administration. It also gives the guidelines to king as how they should administer their territories. The rulers of Magad, the Nandas, had become very unpopular among the common people. The rulers of Magad, the Nandas, had become very unpopular among the common people. A Brahmin minister called Chanakya was insulted and humiliated by the Nanda king called Dhananand. What did Chanakya face? He faced insultation. He faced insult and humiliation by the Nanda king called Dhananand. Chanakya, better known as Kautilya, trained Chandragupta, a young man of the Maurya family, in statecraft and warfare to avenge his humiliation. What did Chanakya do? He trained Chandragupta Maurya, who was a young man of the Mauryan family, in statecraft. Statecraft means the art of conducting state affairs or how to manage the state affairs. And warfare means the activities involved in war or conflict, and how to manage the state and how to take care of the activities that happened in the war. Okay. Chandragupta Maurya, who ruled from 321 BCE to 297 BCE. Now we'll study about Chandragupta Maurya. Chandragupta defeated the last Nanda king in 321 BCE and established his rule on Magad. He defeated the last Nanda king in 321 BCE and established his rule on Magad. He then turned his attention towards Punjab. After ruling on Magad, he turned his attention towards Punjab. Chandragupta first liberated Punjab from Greeks. Liberated means freed the domination or freed that place from Greeks. War with Seleucus. The territories west of Indus were ruled by Greek king Seleucus, who was one of Alexander's generals. uh, King Seleucus ruled over the west of Indus, who was the who was Alexander's general. He crossed the Indus in 305 BCE, but was given a crushing defeat by Chandragupta's army, and thus the Greek rule in Punjab ended. What did King Seleucus do? He crossed Indus in 305 BCE, but he was defeated by Chandragupta's army, and by this the rule of Greek over Punjab ended. After getting defeated from Chandragupta Maurya, King Seleucus had to sign a humiliating treaty and give away Herat, Kabul, and Kandahar to Chandragupta. Then Chandragupta married his daughter, and Seleucus sent a Greek ambassador Megasthenes to the Mauryan court. After defeating King Seleucus, what did Chandragupta do? He married his daughter, and uh, King Seleucus had to sign a humiliating treaty and give away Herat, Kabul, and Kandahar to Chandragupta. Chandragupta Maurya brought other parts of northern India under his control and established India's first powerful empire. Chandragupta Maurya established India's first powerful empire. He established the Mauryan Empire and ruled for about 25 years. For how long did Chandragupta Maurya rule? He ruled in India for about 25 years. Then Bindusara. He ruled from 297 BCE to 273 BCE. Chandragupta Maurya, according to some sources, gave his throne to his son Bindusara and became a Jain ascetic. His son Bindusara ruled for 24 years and continued his father's career of conquest and expansion. He maintained his vast empire and extended it till Mysore. What did Bindusara do? He got the throne of his father, who became a Jain ascetic. He ruled for 24 years and continued his father's career of conquest and expansion. And he maintained his vast empire and extended till Mysuru. Now, Ashoka. Ashoka, who ruled from 273 BCE to 232 BCE. His life. Ashoka, the most famous and powerful Mauryan king, came to power after his father Bindusara's death in 273 BCE. Ashoka, the most famous and powerful Mauryan king, came to power after his father Bindusara's death in 273 BC. When did Ashoka came to power? In 273 BC. He was perhaps the greatest ruler India has ever had. He was the greatest ruler that India has ever had. He ruled from his capital, Patliputra. From where did Ashoka rule? He ruled from his capital, Patliputra. When Ashoka came to power, he followed the policy of direct conquest. When Ashoka came to power, he followed the policy of direct conquest. He could not tolerate the existence of independent kingdoms on the border of his empire. Kalinga at this time was an independent kingdom Ashoka invaded. Kalinga in 261 BC. Kalinga was an independent kingdom and it was invaded by Ashoka in 261 BC. The Mauryan army ultimately defeated the Kalinga army. What did the Mauryan army do? It defeated the Kalinga army. But both the armies had to suffer heavy losses. Both the armies had to suffer heavy losses. What were the losses? According to an Ashokan edict, 1 lakh people were killed in this war and 1 lakh 50,000 were taken as prisoners. According to Ashoka's edict or Ashoka's calculation, 1 lakh people were killed in this Mauryan and Kalingan war, and 1 lakh 50,000 people were taken to prisoners. This caused misery to many women and children. The death and destruction which followed the Kalinga War made Ashoka sad and unhappy. It became a turning point of his life. After the death and destruction which King Ashoka saw in the war between Mauryan Empire and Kalinga, it all destructed, all the deaths and destruction, it made Ashoka feel very sad and unhappy. It became a turning point for his life. He decided that he would not fight any more wars. What did Ashoka decide? He decided that he would not fight any more wars. Instead, what would he do? Instead, he would try and persuade people to live in peace. Persuade means to convince someone for doing something. Instead, he decided that now I will insist or convince people to live in peace. Kalinga became a part of Mauryan Empire for the first time in Indian history. Almost the whole subcontinent except extreme south was under a single ruler. Kalinga also became a part of Mauryan Empire, and for in the first time of history, what happened? The whole subcontinent became under one king's rule. Okay, except leaving the extreme south. Okay, after the Kalinga War, Digvijay, or the policy of conquest, was replaced by Dhamma Vijay or Dhamma Ghosh, which was also known as Victory of Dhamma. Now, Ashoka's Dhamma. The principle of Buddhism guided Ashoka's policy at home and abroad. He believed life could become peaceful and virtuous by following certain high ideals. Now, Ashoka led his life on the principles of Buddhism. Okay, he also believed that peaceful and virtuous life could be done by certain high, could be made. He believed that a person could have a peaceful and virtuous life by just following certain high ideals. This Ashoka called Dhamma. What did Ashoka call this? He called it Dhamma, which is Prakrit equivalent of the Sanskrit word Dharma. In Prakrit, it is equivalent to the, or in Prakrit, it means Dharma. By following the ideals of Dhamma, life could become pure and simple without anger, cruelty, pride, and jealousy. By following the ideals of Dhamma or Dharma, life could become pure and simple. What did Ashoka say? That if you want a pure and simple life, then you should follow these principles. And by following these principles, you won't have any more anger, cruelty, pride, and jealousy. He explained Dhamma in the edicts, which were mainly written in Brahmi script. What is a script in which the Dhamma edicts are written? It is written in Brahmi script. He used Prakrit, the language of the common people. The Dhamma is written in Brahmi script, but what did Ashoka do? He used Prakrit as a language of the common people to write it in these edicts in Dhamma. Before it was written in Brahmi script, but Ashoka said that for the common people it is not very easy to understand the Brahmi script. So Ashoka wrote these edicts in Prakrit language. Thus, the common people could easily understand his teaching of Dhamma. When it was translated into Prakrit language, then the common people could easily understand the teaching of Dhamma or Dharma. We learn about Ashoka's idea from Dhamma from his edicts. The main principles were, what were the main principles of Ashoka? Non-violence. First main principle was non-violence. People should follow ahimsa. No animal should be slaughtered for sacrifice. What did Ashoka say? That people should follow ahimsa. Ahimsa means there should be no wars and animal slaughter. Animals should not be killed or humiliated or sacrificed. Respect for parents and elders and kindness towards slaves and servants. He also said that there should be respect for parents and elders, and for the slaves and servants, everyone should be treated in a kind manner. Tolerance towards all religions. He also said that all the religions should be treated equally and tolerated equally. Charity for the poor, everyone should have charity, and everyone should help the one in need. Ashoka used to say, all men are my children. He ruled his subjects like a father. What did Ashoka say? He said that all the men are my children. So he ruled his um, territory as a father. Ashoka took a number of welfare measures for his people. What were the welfare measures taken by him? He appointed officers called Dhamma Mahamatras to propagate Dharma. He appointed few officers called Dhamma Mahamatras to propagate Dharma. He built hospitals for both men and animals. He had a number of rest houses constructed for the benefit of travelers. Wells were also dug in many places. What did he do? He built hospitals for both men and animals. He had number of rest houses. He was very conscious or careful about the benefit of the travelers also, so he constructed many number of rest houses. In today's world we call them hotels and lounges. Wells were also dug in many places. Wells means kuan. These were also dug in many places. Ashoka built good roads and planted shady trees on both sides. He toured the country to gather first hand information about his people and heard their complaints. Crimes were rare during his reign and punishments were wild. What did Ashoka do? He toured the country to gather first hand information, to gather more and more information about his people, and in his times crimes were rare and punishments were also mild. That's it for the today's class. Tomorrow we'll continue with the same explanation. I'll give you the exercise, some of the exercises to do in your history copy. So complete them on time. That's it for today's class. Thank you, class.